If you are tired of AI side hustle videos promising easy money, keep watching because I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to show you how I actually made my first $1,000 online with AI and exactly how I do it again if I lost everything and had to start from scratch today. No buzzwords, no wishful thinking, just the raw step-by-step reality, how to get paid by solving a real problem for real businesses without spending money you don't have building a website or pretending you're the next Elon Musk. Here's the truth. Everyone loves hyping up passive income, but nobody tells you the hardest part is convincing someone to actually pay you for a real result. That's what I figured out early, and it's why I never worried about competition or shiny objects. Once you've banked that first $1,000, you know you can do 10, 20 and beyond because the formula doesn't change. So let's break down how I do it right now in 2025, starting with zero audience, zero experience, and zero budget. Let's cut through the noise. Nobody cares about AI. Nobody cares about automation. Nobody's sitting around hoping some random freelancer will pitch them a shiny new tool. What actually sells is leads. More pipeline, more revenue, more booked calls. That's what gets businesses to pull out their wallet every single time. That's why when I started, I didn't waste time building chatbots, spinning up AI newsletters, selling Notion templates, pushing automations nobody asks for, or even trying to launch yet another auto booking tool. Instead, I offered the one thing every business actually wants, which is qualified leads. It's simple, it's measurable, you either deliver or you don't. And here's the kicker, AI just makes it stupidly efficient. You don't need a team, you hardly need any capital. All you need is a laptop, some free trials, and the willingness to put in a few focused hours. If you can promise, I'll bring you 10 qualified leads this week, and you can actually back it up, you're never going to worry about where your next $1,000 is coming from. But this isn't just theory. It's not just run some ads and hope for the best. It is real work, real outreach. But once you've done it once, you can rinse and repeat, automate it, and turn it into a system that pays you again and again. When I first got into this, there was no grand plan, just a simple insight. Businesses always want more business, more leads, more booked calls, more pipeline. So I ignored the noise about launching the next hot AI tool and went straight for something I could actually prove. So the first thing I did was carve out a week to learn the bare essentials. I figured out how to scrape leads that actually fit my target market, learned how to prompt LLMs so I could automate outreach with emails that genuinely felt personal, and spent late nights connecting the dots with basic workflow automation tools. I wasn't, and I still am not a coder. I didn't have any special access or budget, just free trials, YouTube videos, and a lot of trial and error. When it came time to make my first offer, I honestly had no clue what to charge. I just wanted someone, literally anyone, to say yes to my offer. So what I did is I put $100 on the table for every show up. There wasn't a retainer, it wasn't a long pitch, just if a qualified lead actually joins your sale call, you pay me $100. That was my offer. Looking back, that price was laughable, but it got my foot in the door. I remember staring at my inbox, hoping for any kind of reply, wondering if this was all just a giant waste of time. But every campaign I sent out made me sharper. Every email, every little win or flop was real practice. My system got better every week, not because I was that clever, but because I was in the trenches doing the work and learning as I went. So landing that first client who wanted 10 show-ups in 30 days for me was the tipping point. I was able to hit that number and suddenly I realized I wasn't just scraping by. I'd built something I could trust to deliver results on demand. That client is actually still with me even after all those months, because if you can put money in someone's pocket, no theory, just proof they don't want to lose you. None of it was very glamorous. Most of it was actually quite boring. But boring builds the bank account. If you're willing to learn, get a little better every week and keep showing up, your first $1,000 isn't a hope, it is just inevitable. Most people think your first $1,000 online has to be complicated or expensive. The truth is, it's never been more accessible or affordable than it is right now. You don't need a stack of expensive paid tools, a fancy website, or a massive ad budget. The only real investment is your willingness to learn a handful of skills and actually put them to use. Here's exactly what I used. Apollo to find decision makers, Airtable to keep everything organized, a bit of N8N for automation, and prompting LLMs like ChatGPT to write the emails for me. That is the whole setup. I still use this exact tech stack and it works at any scale because the power isn't in the tools, it is in the outcome. Business owners don't care how clever your stack is, they care about what lands on their calendar. If you make your offer simple, real, and zero risk, saying yes is the only thing that makes sense. What surprised me most is I remember the first time I pitched my offer. I felt like an imposter, worried my workflow would fall apart or the client would see right through me. But getting that yes actually flipped the switch. You don't need to spend months building something in secret hoping it'll work out. You put out an offer, get a yes, deliver, and immediately see what works and what doesn't. That is how you improve, and that is how you get paid to learn. The best part, there is no gatekeeping here. The cost to start is so low, there is literally no excuse not to try. You're just trading a bit of hustle for real proof, and that proof turns into leverage for every client after. Here's where almost everybody trips up. They think knowing how is enough. So they watch tutorials, binge YouTube, maybe even follow a few workflows, but never actually do the thing. And that is why so many never see a cent, even after weeks or months of learning. The truth is, you don't get paid for what you know, you get paid for what you deliver. That is the gap. Most people are stuck searching for the perfect strategy or waiting until everything's lined up. But the people who win are the ones willing to put something real out there, get a few things wrong, and fix it as they go. The money is made in execution. When I got started, my emails weren't perfect, my lead lists were scrappy at best, my systems broke all the time, but I kept hitting send, I kept booking calls, and I kept figuring it out on the fly. Every mistake was just another rep, another lesson, another improvement to the system. If you are serious about making your first $1,000, here's the mindset shift. You have to be willing to look a little stupid at first. You have to put your name out there, send those first rough emails, take the meetings, even if you're not ready. The people making money online aren't the ones who watch the most videos, they're the ones who took the most swings. So stop waiting for the perfect plan, take what you already know, get it in front of real businesses, and learn by doing. That is the shortcut no guru wants to admit. Most people start collecting tactics, but miss what actually gets you paid. If I had to start over right now, this is exactly what I would do. And I'm not talking from theory. In the past 3 months alone, my Stripe has shown over $100,000 coming in month after month. So this isn't a one-off. It is the exact same system I use today, and everyone can repeat it at any level. I pick a single outcome every business cares about. So more qualified leads, more sales calls, more pipeline. I'd offer to deliver those leads on a performance basis, so there's no risk for the client at all. That is how you shortcut objections and get paid for what actually matters. Then, how do you deliver? Well, first, use Apollo to build a lead list that matches your client's ICP. Next, plug those leads into a basic workflow. Mine's built in N8N, but you could use Make or Zapier. I'll put it on screen right now so you can see how simple it really is. One workflow for scraping and lead generation, another for qualifying, enriching, and personalizing outreach using LLMs. The first time I ran this, I remember hovering over the send button, palms sweaty, convinced nobody would reply. What if they all ignored me? What if the workflow broke? But each reply, each booked call was proof I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to show up and solve the problem. So start with $250 per booked call. Do that 4 times, and there's your first $1,000. Rinse, refine, repeat. Let the numbers do the talking. Run it for yourself, run it for your clients, and let every round make your system stronger. Everything you need is right here. The only thing left is actually doing it. Here's the bottom line. Your first $1,000 online doesn't come from watching another video or hoarding more information. It comes from solving a real problem, putting your offer in front of real businesses and doing the work, messy, imperfect, and all. Every day you wait is just another day someone else takes your spot. If any of this clicked for you and you're serious about building your first client-getting system step by step with my personal workflows, my prompts, my templates, and real feedback, join us inside the Scaling System Society. It is $65 a month, but price goes up every 100 members, and you'll have everything you need to go from zero to your first $1,000 in the next 21 days if you show up and actually do the work. But honestly, you don't need me or anyone else to get started. You already have the blueprint. The rest, as I said, is just action. So here's your next move. Take a breath, pick your offer, build your list, and send those first emails. Even if you feel like you're about to fall on your face, that is how you get into the game. That is how you turn ideas into income. Make your first $1,000 the beginning, not the finish line. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the inside of my community, or I'll see you in the comments when you're ready to share your first win.